This is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. This is FBC News. Tonight, body remains confirmed to be of Russian couple. Landowners failed to meet E-OK land development scheme criteria. And youths encouraged to take agriculture seriously. Police have confirmed that the body remains that were found washed ashore at Natandola Beach last week belongs to the missing Russian couple. Chief of Intelligence and Investigations ACP Luke Navella says the DNA tests conducted have confirmed that the remains belong to Russians Yuri Shipalin and his wife Natalia. Police are now treating the case as an alleged murder. However, ACP Navella says investigations still continue with a team of divers from the Fiji Navy to assist the police divers search for other remains at the Natandola waters resuming tomorrow. He says the joint team will be able to cover a bigger area and are hoping that this will assist them find some answers as to what took place. Many landowners applying for the government's E-OK land development scheme have failed to meet the criteria. This was revealed by Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum as vetting of all applications have started and is currently underway. Ali Kimbia has the details.
$10 million have been provided by the government to focus on increasing benefits to the E-OK landowners for developments to be undertaken on their land. All landowners are eligible to apply for this grant. However, Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says some criteria have not been met.
A couple of the ones we found that they were disputing claims over the land that was being proposed to be developed. We had two different groups, from the landowning unit, so we obviously want those matters resolved.
Syed Qayyum says the development scheme will allow landowners to reap commercial benefits, but this will only happen if all the legal documents are approved and signed off.
We are progressing on projects where there is legally everything has been signed off on. There's no dispute pertaining to title, there's no dispute pertaining to ownership, etc. And then obviously the ones that have been given a priority also are the ones that have got some form of a scheme plan.
The E-OK land development will include the provision of electricity, water and roads to allow for subdivision and other development works, as this will directly contribute to national development. The government is expected to vet more applications in the coming months. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
85% of the food of the planet is produced by small farmers, making it a profession that needs respect. Relooking at the vital role farmers play in our world was one of the issues debated at this year's European Days of Development meeting in Brussels, Belgium. Alan Stoltz has more.
There are many challenges that faces the agriculture sector in the 28 EU member states, and former head of the European Commission in Fiji, Roberto Ridolfi, says farmers need to be well equipped about the latest technology.
The farmer is a business person. However, it is not the case. I would add a word. Not only we want that person to be a business oriented, but we need desperately to push for dignity of that kind of job. Dignity. There is no dignity in doing subsistence agriculture today.
There is also a need for farming in Fiji to be made more attractive to encourage younger people to consider making a profession of it. Agriculture Minister Inia Seriratu says this is one of the major challenges his ministry faces.
That is why the modernization plan that we have, because for Fiji right now, labor is becoming an issue. And for us to continue to produce, even to higher levels, we need to bring in machinery. We need mechanization. We need to modernize Fiji's agriculture sector.
The minister says plans are in place to launch various initiatives on youth and women in agriculture as well.
When you look at statistics for Fiji, unemployment is high amongst our rural women and our rural youths, and we will work together with the other stakeholders, the Ministry for Poverty Alleviation and Social Welfare, the Ministry of Women, and of course Youth and Sports and Industry and Trade.
$74.4 million has been allocated for agriculture in the 2016-2017 national budget, and a portion of these funds will no doubt be channeled into helping modernize the industry. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, Northern Carnival ends on a high. An online kids clothing entrepreneur shares her journey. Stay with us for this and more.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Ganiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Maria from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back here with FPC News. A new queen was crowned last night at the Duamvata Northern Crime Prevention Carnival in Lambasa. Eleanor Review reports the week-long carnival drew thousands of people to Sorel Park this past week.
20-year-old Miss Nandongo, Sylvia Mbesila, scooped the main crown last night, beating 7 other contestants. The Bachelor of Arts students at USP advocated on theft, the #1 crime in the Northern Division. She dedicated her win to her late mother.
I want to thank my family, my sister Karen, for her support. I know my mom is not here with me, and my dad is probably not sitting on the ground out there. But this is for you, Mom.
20-year-old Aquila Salavuki was crowned king on the night. He beat 3 other contestants to lay claim to the crown and advocated on suicide during the week-long carnival. The Dovata Carnival initiative was commanded by the Minister for Employment Relations, Semikore Lebesau, who was chief guest last night.
The Northern Dovata Crime Prevention Carnival is the only festival in Fiji that promotes awareness on crime prevention, focusing in community policing, relationship building, bridging a new sense of ownership to the community and a shift of the mindset that generates understanding and engagement in a holistic manner.
$104,000 was raised during the carnival, which ended on a high note last night as hundreds of people turned up to witness the closing. As always, the Fiji Police Band was the crowd's favorite. And then finally the fireworks to officially signal the end of the week-long festivities. Eleanor Turangebu, FBC News.
Well, despite the unfavorable Suva weather condition, hundreds of people from all walks of life were part of the first ever Nakoro market held at the Fiji Museum this morning. More than 30 vendors were part of this and set up stalls with a variety of items.
The idea of the market is to create a bigger market and family space to allow all people an opportunity to enjoy what it offers. This setting frames itself as a community market with live music, art exhibition activities and yoga in the park. Organizer Peter Sipeli says this was also an opportunity for families to spend time together, and which has proved to be a success.
I think today was a wonderful success. Not in having a wonderful selection of goods, but in having people interested in doing something. I think this morning we probably had a little bit over 1,000 people come through here, and they weren't just individual people, they were people with families. Like, I think there was There were 200 kids here today.
Fiji Museum Head of Department Prakashni Sharma says this is also an opportunity for people to visit the museum, enjoy the Thurston Botanical Garden, which was built on original Suva village site in 1843.
So it's a sort of like for family and for family and friends to come and visit Fiji Museum. Usually everything is under one roof, so people can come and enjoy their Sunday.
The vendors say this is another opportunity to sell and promote their goods.
I think it's great. Have something different, out of the city, close to the city, and this place that where people can go and sit and enjoy the outdoors.
I think it's a very success market. This is my first market with Peter, but I think in future it will be a very good market.
It's really good for the community. A lot of people are coming out to, meet up with their friends and relatives, and it's something for the community to do in the weekend as families. I think is what we lack, in Suva, for families to come together. So it's a really good idea.
The Nakoro market also focused on banning the use of plastic bags and promote the use of more durable and Fijian-made bags. It will be held every third Sunday of every month. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
It all began from selling Maggie noodle stickers in school. 20 years later, Taveuni beauty Kathy Peterson's second-hand clothing business has become the latest buzz online. Our successful Fijian segment this week features the brain behind the Little Chiefs, an online business that sells kids' clothing, targeting mothers with busy schedules and moms or dads that have no time to look through kids' clothes at the stores. Akosita Tale has more.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Growing up in Taveuni was a struggle for 30-year-old Kathy Peterson and her 4 siblings. They didn't have much, but Kathy, for one, developed a business-oriented mind at a very young age.
When I was in primary school, my mom used to give us, used to make popcorns and popcorns. She used to make fudges for us to sell at school for our bus fare. And we used to sell it, and $5 our bus fare a day was, there was 4 of us, and our bus fare a day was $5. So when we would go and sell these popcorns and fudges, we had to make $5, so it could be for enough just to make for our bus fare the next day. The common ones I sold for 10 cents, and the not so common ones I sold for 20 cents, and the rare ones I sold for 50 cents. So yeah, that day, the first day I did it, I made about $5. Yeah, I felt really, really rich.
Upon completing a primary and half of secondary school education in Taveuni, Peterson moved to Suva to complete her studies at Suva Grammar School. This was where things took a twist as she was influenced by peer pressure and the city life.
I tried very hard to fit in. So for a few years I was, partying and I dropped out of school twice, and basically I didn't know what to do with my life. I was lost. So I didn't. When someone asked me what I wanted to do, I was stuck. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know. I was completely lost.
Life got more complicated when Peterson separated from her former partner in 2013, leaving her with nothing but to resign from work and look after her son Reef, as daycare was expensive to afford. Peterson then moved in with her older sister Davina, and it was then one day, while breastfeeding her son, that she came across a book that helped her rediscover her love of business.
I picked up that book, Mentored by a Millionaire, and I would recommend this book to every young person that wants to become a entrepreneur. Mentored by a Millionaire. He talks about your mindset. If you want to be successful, it starts with you, and it starts with your mindset. When I was pregnant with my son, I was thinking to myself, I want to open up a second-hand store, but I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to go, where to start. And after reading this book, I was like, oh my goodness, it was just like, I just couldn't wait just to start writing and researching.
This marked the birth of the Little Chiefs, which has gained more than 8,000 likes on Facebook in a very short period of time. This was all due to 3 years of research about frustrations on shopping for kids' clothing. However, Peterson wouldn't have been able to achieve all this without the support of her family, especially her older sister and business partner, Davina.
She's a very driven person who goes for what she wants, and I love that about her. And the fact that she's my sister and we work well together and we know each other, and I would say she's my partner for life in business.
Peterson's advice to Fijians is to work hard and do more reading, research, and make use of information available online.
Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're too young to achieve anything. There's this term that the media portray us as the millennials, and because we are the internet generation. 10 years ago, if you wanted to start a business or if you wanted to do anything, you had to go to the library to research on your market. Today we have Google, we have Wikipedia, we have social media.
For a woman who is barely making ends meet, her struggles and sacrifice is paying off after setting up a second-hand online business that's raking in $1,500 to $2,000 a week to be able to support her family. Kathy and Davina are also members of the first ever Young Entrepreneurs Council that was recently launched by Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
This was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, Namosi leads Skipper Cup points table after 8 rounds. And Naya Levu eyes Rio Olympics. Stay with us for the details.
आपको करगंगा के रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाचोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब वहाँ में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Welcome to FPC Sports, and the Nandi football side has won the 2016 Vodafone Fiji Fact, defeating Suva 3-0 in the final. Both teams were locked at 0-0 after extra time, and goalkeeper Vereti Dixon proved to be the hero for the Jet Setters, saving 3 penalties. Here's the action from the penalty shootout.
Gase Vakatini to take the first kick for the Nandi side. Takes his run, places it, and Gase Vakatini has pulled one for the Nandi side. And Vereti Dixon saves, and again he is a very good penalty saver. Tony Tuivuna comes and places and makes Ben go the wrong way. So it's Madwan Gounder places and he kicks it over. He kicks it over, and it is left for Nandi's third kicker to put it home, and it drives, and Matias Itoma has made it 3. We can. Waisake now turns, and Vereti saves, and it is the Ajax professional valuation. Nandi side have won the 2016 Vodafone Fiji Fact tournament, and the hero this afternoon into the evening, Vereti Dixon.
In the semi-finals yesterday, Suva edged Rewa 1-0. Satareki Hughes scored the winner for the Whites on the early stages.
One Gounder clears it away, Drundru, and into Peter Rambo. Rambo plays a long through pass across field on that far touchline side. Samuel Drundru cuts it back infield. Baravilala squares it a long one. It comes for Satareki. Hughes has got the drive. and Satareki uses a pile driver in the 7th minute of play. He drove it in. Bruce Hughes had no chance. He was marking him, his younger brother.
And the first semi-final, Nandi came from 2 goals down to beat Lambasa 3-2 in extra time. Here are the goals.
His pass is not a good one. They played back Lambasa. Ratu Anare flicks it through, finding Ravinesh Karan. Ravinesh and that curling through an own goal. And Leki Mangonero. And in the 13th minute of play, pressure from Ravinesh Karan. And Leki Mangonero with an own goal. And they go across on the 13th minute. Across in the way, shows his dribbling skill. Then Ratu Anare gets it, wins it, plays it, and Edwin Shyman, a foul by Ilimotama Chese. And the shot coming through, the goal allowed. The shot coming through, the goal allowed. They pulled it back, they waited. And the shot by Ratu Anare in the 17th minute of play. Well, he looked after us in Lambasa. In comes the kick in the way. And a handball. A handball it is off Leonen Damundamu. Gase comes in and slams it and pulls one back. Cuts it back in field. Still Leki Mangonero and cut through. And Gase Vakatini. Gase Vakatini has equalized in the 38th minute of play. Napoleon in Gase Vakatini. Ame Votunui following through. And he comes with a short one and flick through as a lovely tip through by Matthias Hitoma. Matthias Hitoma goes across. He got the touch in the final touches as it curled. The credit would have been William, but he just got a final touch to it. And in the 5th minute of extra time, Matthias Hitoma has put Nandi up by 3 goals to 2.
Meanwhile, in the curtain raiser match played today, the Rewa Youth Under-19 team was held to a 1-1 draw by the Regional Academy Under-17 side. The Regional Academy side led 1-0 at the break, but Rewa equalized in the second half to remain undefeated in all competitions for the past 6 years. The Under-17 side is also yet to lose a match in the Youth League competition this year. Vodafone Fiji Sevens extended squad member Weseanea the Levu is doing all his best to be selected in the final team to the Rio Olympics. The Stade de France wing is one of 22 players gunning for a spot in the final 13-member team. Rohit Deo has more.
Flying Fijian swing Weseanea the Levu has joined the Sevens camp just weeks after helping his team win the Pacific Nations Cup. The 26-year-old says the switch to the abbreviated code is not easy.
A long season for me, especially in the top 14 and coming back to Fiji, joining the Fiji 15s team. And from 15s to 7s, it's not the same. High intensity in the 7s, and yeah, it's been a hard week this week.
The 6-feet Serua lad says training under the guidance of coach Ben Ryan has been tough, but it's for a good cause.
Yeah, quite hard, fitness and conditioning. Yeah, it's coming along. Yeah.
Neither Levu says he's trying his best to make it to the final squad, but knows it won't be easy considering the amount of talented players in the team. Ryan names his final squad in 2 weeks. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Maduata narrowly lost to Northland 2017 in the Skipper Cup competition yesterday afternoon. The two sides met at the All Saints Secondary School grounds due to the unavailability of Subrel Park. Eleanor Tarangeview with this report.
The visiting Northland side proved too strong for hosts Maduata in the Skipper Cup round in Lambasa yesterday. They drew first blood a few minutes into the game through a penalty kick and led 3-0. Nasoni Nasendra scored the first try of the match, and after a successful conversion, Northland continued its lead 10-0 at the breather. Maduata then scored 2 tries within minutes of each other, taking the points to 12-10. Northland bounced back and a penalty kick gave them a 1-point lead before Nasendra crossed the line again for another try. A late try from Maduata in the last few minutes failed to secure them a win on home soil. Maduata Rugby Secretary Ropate Rakandi says it's back to the drawing board for the team as they continue to aim to remain in the top 8 of the competition.
We'll map up our plan for Nandi for next week, and as well with Litasiri and Tabwa, and we are eager to give a good performance to the 3 teams that is left for us to maintain our top 8 position in the Skipper Cup for 2016.
Northern manager Matthew Correa says they are aiming for a top 4 finish.
And I think that we're going up slowly, and we do hope that we'll reach the semi-final.
Madhwata takes on Nandi in the next round of the Skipper Cup competition next week, while Northern will take on Namosi. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC Sports.
The Namosi rugby side leads the Skipper Cup competition with 31 points after 8 rounds. The side recording a bonus point 36-3 win over Tailevu yesterday. Nandronga, after beating Nandi yesterday, climbs into second position. The 9th round of the competition will be played next weekend. Well, a weak trough of low pressure remains over the eastern part of Fiji. Taking a look at the temperature, Suva was the coolest again today, recording 28 degrees. The rest of the major centres were warm in their 30s. Lambasa was the hottest on 32 degrees. Tomorrow, Nandi, Lotokamba and Lambasa can experience sunshine in the morning, while evening showers are expected for most parts of the country. Further outlook, occasional showers over the Lau and Lomaiviti group, Kandabu and nearby smaller islands, eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. Recapping our headlines. Body remains confirmed to be of Russian couple. Some Itoke landowners have failed to meet the Itoke land development scheme criteria. And youths have been encouraged to take agriculture seriously. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. On to our poll question. Do you agree with FERCA publicly listing second-hand vehicle prices? Visit our FBC website to answer. Do send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
Alango Katonesia Tugotua, Omonia Saurara, although we will take you on a TV in a market Tawa. Although Talitagana, Warrona, Bula FM, and Namandu and Sir.
Bula Viti, Nadango Palacio Materia, one of my Nanan Bula Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talitaina, Warrongo, and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and Seri.